So let's talk about high compress. What do I look for? You know, guys, you know, when I first joined the teams, we're like, 2, you need to get aggressive on that gun. I'm like, okay, what's aggressive? Lean forward. So I lean forward. And now I lean forward more because get more aggressive. I lean forward more. So what's that do? First, it hurts my fucking back all day, right? That's why you see a lot of guys getting up like this, right? Because back in the old days, that's what we did. We would lean out and we'll pop up like this, right? Pop up, pop up. So that is a conventional low ready to pop. See it? We're trained on that. So what I'm going to teach you is to push, to compress the gun. Compressing the gun is like me throwing a punch, right? It's giving me a reference point on a gun. So on a high compress, my reference point is this muzzle, right? Think about my hands. If I need to touch Trung, right? I could see him, all I do is just move this hand towards him like I'm pointing a finger, okay? So let's talk about the theory behind that forward drive on a high compress. So Trung, can you stand here, brother? And I'll stand here. So if you see me right here, I want you to look at me. Look at me. Point your drive hand at me. Now looking at me, point your drive hand at Trung. Please don't look at Trung. Look at me. All right, without looking at Trung, put your drive hand at him. Okay, now turn to him. Are you on him? That's how you fucking drive a gun. Okay? Miyamoto Musashi said that your normal stance has to be your tactical stance, and your tactical stance has to be your normal stance. This means that these repetitions, these movements need to be normal. So this is my aggressive stance these days. Notice how my lead leg is here. You know where I learned this from? Boxing. If a boxer is able to move side by side and he's able to work his foot movements, he's able to cut through drills, and that's what I need in the house. I need that stance. So then my gunfighting off of Kyle Lamb's forward drive, I'm like, man, that's so proficient. So then my style has changed. Understand? So your normal stance, if you're standing there like this today and you're talking to me, that's your shooting stance. Okay? All you're doing is just leaning one leg forward and you're bringing the gun out. All right, so on a high compress, we're gonna work a high compress push and we're gonna work a low compress push. Both of these tactics will be utilized in the shoot house. High compress push, and both of these are very dynamic movements. So clear gun. High compress push is I'm standing there, I'm looking at the muzzle, I'm seeing this in my peripheral, I'm looking at the target, right? So let's say that gray box is my target, clear gun, gray box is my target. I see the push, right? So I'm pushing the gun. Notice how my weapon's what? Already off safe, right? So now it goes back on safe. So once I take the gun off of the line, right, off of the mount position, it needs to go back on safe. So here, it's on fire. If I take it off the muzzle line, it goes back on safe. Here, understand? Do we understand the mechanics of a push? Think about a boxing, or think about a boxer. If I have, this is my jab hand, this is my cross hand, and you're a target and you're a target, I'm just gonna box. I'm gonna move to you, see? I'm moving to you. I can see you move, I can drive to him. I'm already on the cameraman. Understand? So those are the mechanics that I developed over years through martial arts, right? If I'm able to fight a guy and he's throwing kicks and I'm able to register, you better I could register on a gun. What's going on? The hardest thing about CQB, situational awareness. You can't fucking see the room, you can't react. You don't see the threat, you can't employ any tactics, right? So it's about getting your weapon up, right, where you can see. Understand? Any questions on a high compress? Let's talk about a low compress. A low compress, like the low ready positions in the past, is this, right? You're already on the shoulder mount, right? And you're just driving the gun up, driving the gun up. What we do nowadays is we come over the shoulder, right? And we drive the gun up. See, he's already on fire. Here, driving the gun up. So imagine if this is a wall and the door, I'm coming in, I'm driving the gun up, see? I'm right on fire. Understand? So the compression, why do I need to compress the gun? Why am I teaching you this? Because if this is a wall and this is a room which your guys are in, this is a door opening, if I don't compress the gun, I can overexpose the muzzle. Understand? I could overexpose that 90-degree angle on the threat. We understand what 90 is on a threat? For anybody who don't understand 90 on a threat, this is a 90-degree angle on the threat, and this is a 45-degree angle on the threat, okay? Okay, so those are angles. We're going to talk about more of that tomorrow, but we have to learn to manipulate a gun first. Eyes and ears, meet me downrange. So when it comes to rifle training, right, and one of your skill set is to conduct close quarters battle with this higher power rifle, then you need to understand the data from this range. If I put you at 5 yards, think about this distance. What does this mimic in your world? In your house, what does this mimic, sir?
A bedroom.
That's right. Okay, so now we're identifying distance. You have to understand distance, because you don't understand distance, then you don't understand timing. Because if I take your distance, I take your time. And close quarters is close quarters battle, so I already took, because you close in with the threat, you don't have time. So your movements have to be fast. And your angles and your position in your body has to be on point, because what I'm doing is I'm angling on a doorway. I'm angling on a hallway, right? So these movements now needs to be developed here. All right, so the first movement we're gonna learn is the high compress. The high compress engagement is I'm bringing the weapon up like this, like almost like port arms, right? So I'm bringing the weapon up, okay? Notice my shooting position. I'm in an athletic shooting position, right? Like a boxer, okay? I'm bringing it up. Notice how my head is upright. My body, my head is over my body. I'm not leaned forward. If I lean forward, I want you, right now, I want you to just stand there, right here. In the isosceles stance, I want you to lean your head forward. Feel the weight shift on your toes. Do you feel it? All right, lean backwards. Do you feel it? So if you're able to feel the balance from your head balancing over your spine, right, that's what you want to be, because that keeps you mobile. So that changes your shooting position, right? So the days of getting aggressive is over. Now it's more upright so I could see. Understand? So then the high compress, I'm going off the muzzle and I'm punching the gun out and I'm firing. Okay, now let's talk about this range. I got you on a 3-inch box, okay, 3-inch box. So guys, basically what I did was, I'm giving you 27 countries. I took 27 countries and I divided what worked for me overseas for so many years, and I developed a close quarters training rifle course that's going to enhance your movements in the house. So the first thing is a push, a high compressed push. The requirements is muzzle over the threat. So imagine your muzzle, so if I tell you engage 1, your muzzle should be kind of hovering over that threat, understand? And when you push, you're pushing like you're punching towards that 1. The mechanics are always going to be there. The body movements are always going to be there. So if I work these movements over and over and over, what happens? It becomes habit, but you don't aim anymore. What I mean by that, if I enter a room and let's say you're a threat and you're a threat, all I do is shift my body and everything's already in line. Everything's, because the movements are always, if Trong is my threat and I see you, see, I'm already on it. The movements are always the same. So what we're developing is the same movements. They call it Mushen. When all your emotions are eliminated and truly your training kicks in, a state of no mind. Okay, so that's what we're working on today. So back off, circle around the demo. All right, guys, so the first what I'm going to do is I'm going to understand my offset at 5 yards. So center hold on 1. Center hold on 1. So red dot on 1. And I should be what? Based on my physical offset from my optic to my bore. What should I be? So I should be kind of 2 inches kind of below it, right? So you need to identify your sight to bore offset. You look at some of those ex-commandos from Somalia, they had these carrying handles and they had like a 5-inch, 6-inch offset because that was technology at the time. So you think about it. They had to hold 5 to 6 inches off a low percentage target. Is this a low percentage target? This is not a low percentage target? Sir? Yeah. Is this a, no, I see you shaking your head. This is not a low percentage target?
The size of the box, yes, but this range, I would say no. Okay.
All right, so this is a low percentage target because when you come in a house, in a room, and you got that traditional hostage, target, this is what we're aiming for. This is what we're shooting. The thing is, remember, you're not going to be standing out here doing this nice and beautiful and stagnant. I'm going to jack your heart rate up to 160, and you're going to start moving, okay? Later on, once you develop this push. Okay, so think about where we're going. Eyes and ears. So nice and slow first. I just want to understand my offset from this range off of this ballistic. So on demo, 1 upper deck. So point of aim, point of impact. Understand? At this range. What do you think I'm going to do next? I'm going to keep on going back, and I understand my offsets. Understand this? All right, so once you understand, notice the push. Get it? We get the push? And then once you understand your offset, now you're going to adjust your hold. So on 3, I'm going to start adjusting my holds. Get it? Okay, very basic stuff. I'm building that data. Any questions on the high compress? Is the weapon back on safe once it goes off dismount? Is the weapon on fire once it's mounted, ready to go? All right, firing both eyes open, correct? All right, isosceles shooting position, right? We're punching out like this. I don't want to see you upright. I want to see slight bend in the knees. All right, first iteration up.
Can you talk about structure on the gun, holding it?
The structure on a gun is, for me, I try to mimic a pistol and a rifle the same way on a forward drive hand. Forward drive hand on a pistol is this, right? It's giving me what? Structure, because I have what? Wrist line structure. On a drive hand, because I have this forward grip, look at the structure. Same structure, okay? So what's that give me? What's that give me? You're a threat, and Russ, you're a threat, right? I'm gonna point towards you, I'm already on you. So if I'm able to point with my thumb to the threat, and my structure's there, because I've been doing these movements over and over, you think I really need to aim at this point? Unless it's a low percentage, right? So what I'm training you is speed on a gun at this distance, because I took your time to react. Okay? Make sense? All right. Any questions on the forward hand? Any questions on the drive hand? The movement from low ready or movement from a compressed